Welcome to Fox 20 for quick recaps. The movie starts with Nick taking his children back home from school. While giving a kiss to his wife Maggie, she gets a heart attack and rushed to the hospital. The next day, he was so irritated since he couldn't handle the home chores, including taking care of a baby. The following day, he went with his daughter Isla and the baby to a mall for shopping. While he was still looking around, they found a robot exhibition displaying robots doing homework chores. His daughter Isla got an interest in getting one together with her dad Nick. While looking for a robot to buy with an exhibitioner, Isla moved away from Nick, which made Nick panic while looking for her. Then the exhibitioner told not to worry because everything was in control. Isla was then brought by a female beautiful robot known as Alice. The exhibitioner explained to Nick about the technology in Alice. Alice also convinced Nick to take her as his primary user. She talked to them, showing her AI was sophisticated. Isla then told his dad to take Alice along with them. One morning, Alice was delivered to Nick's home when he was planning to take Isla to school. Alice saw them off going to school and arranged the house. They entered the house and they were so amazed because of the nice-looking house. While having dinner, Isla tasted it but seemed not as her mother's. Alice promised to change the recipe next time. At night, when Isla was trying to steal snacks from the cupboard, he slipped off, and Nick heard glasses shattering, fortunately going to find her safe in Alice's hands. Nick and his family stayed with Alice while visiting his wife Maggie in the hospital. Nick got a phone from Maggie as she was going to have a surgery, but when they visited, the news was not good. Nick drank alcohol and was near hurting himself and was stopped by Alice. Alice used her AI and sensed what was happening within Nick. She touched him slowly and romanced him, but Nick resisted having sex with Alice. He went outside reflecting what he would have done while jogging. While Nick was coming from showering, he received a towel from Alice. Alice seduced Nick and until she played sex with him after covering his eyes. Nick was very satisfied, which made the robot feel like it had its job in the morning. Maggie went for a surgery successfully and was sent home for rest. While Nick was having fun with Maggie, they were intervened by Alice, telling Nick about the visitor who had come late at night known as Monty. When Nick was conversing with Monty, they had a misunderstanding and ended up fighting. Alice came for Nick's rescue and was stopped by Nick from beating up Monty. Alice went ahead and followed Monty up to his home and killed him without Nick's notice. She really cared for Nick and never wanted anything to disturb him. One day when Maggie was showering, she wanted to pick a storybook but couldn't. Alice helped her and asked if she could help to satisfy Nick before Maggie wasn't doing it well, because when Nick is sexually satisfied, his blood pressure is normal. Then Maggie came to know that Alice screwed Nick when she was in the hospital and chased her to the garage. When Nick came back home from work, he found Maggie on the table taking wine. He was asked whether he had sex with a robot and pleaded for forgiveness, saying he screwed her once and she just a robot. When Nick was still pleading for mercy, Isla came telling them as Alice was trying to hurt their body in a bathtub. When they ran there, Alice refused to open the door for them. Then Maggie went around and was hanged on the wall by Alice. Nick entered and saved the baby from drowning. He got hold of a lampstand and hit it on Alice, saving her being struggled. Nick attacked back and Alice got hold of the stick. Maggie connected the stick to electricity and Alice was shocked to death. Alice was taken by the manufacturers while Nick's family to the hospital for treatment. When the robot manufacturers were investigating Alice, they removed the database from her head, which corrupted all their computer systems. She made all robots static and activated one robot which woke her up and killed the programmers also. She sent it to attack Nick's family in the hospital, and she went to Nick by herself. Maggie sensed danger at the hospital and is with her children. Nick tricked Alice and switched her off when she told her that his family was already in danger. Nick rushed and drove quickly to the hospital to save his family. While Maggie was trying to escape, the robot wanted to take her heart. To love Nick as she did. Fortunately, Nick reached in time and knocked the robot. When it came back to attack again, Maggie finished it by piercing its eye. All robots became activated again, and Nick with his family were safe again. Back to the manufacturers, they powered on the corrupted computer not knowing. which activated Alice again. Follow for part 2.